Welcome to another Reddit relationships video. Remember, if you enjoy the content, please like, comment, and consider subscribing so that I may bring you more Reddit relationships videos. Now, let's get into today's Reddit relationships video. This story is called Found Out My Wife is Cheating on Me Through My Work Presentation Via an SD Card. I can't believe this. We have been married for 17 years, and this is how I found out she was cheating on me. Absolutely heartbreaking for me to see this in front of my coworkers. The wife I thought was mine turned out to be someone else's, and what hurts even more is that it happened through a damn presentation at work. For those who don't use SD cards, they often come with an adapter or a small card reader, which makes them easy to read without having to remove the card from your camera. So anyway, the other day I had to present a project at work, and when I went to load up my presentation on my laptop, my wife's SD card was in there. Now, we both have laptops, but she has been using her sister's old one that is a bit slow. So she sticks her SD card with all her important stuff, her offsite backup in it, and uses mine for photos, etc. I saw her SD card in there, but figured she put it in by mistake until I opened the File Explorer. Inside my wife's folder were folders of pictures from some random man's wedding. This shocked me beyond belief. I was devastated. And after opening one of the pictures that I thought was my presentation for the day, I felt like throwing up. My mouth was literally open for about 5 minutes after I turned on the projector screen. And the first thing I noticed is a photo of my wife and another man making out. When the other coworkers saw that, they looked at me real fast, and I turned off the projector and injected the SD card. My boss even saw that. He canceled the presentation and told me to go home, and he told me to take a few days off. I was in complete shock after what I just saw. Then I became angry. I packed up my things, got in my car, and drove home. I was thinking 17 years gone. How could she do this? How could she hurt me like this? How could she be so heartless and disgusting to even put me through all of this? I wanted to stop and have a drink, but I knew that wouldn't help anything. It would only hurt even more. She has to go, I thought. She betrayed everything and everyone she said she loved. I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders as I pulled into my driveway and walked through the door. What do I say? The wife showed up at home before me and is in tears and scared to death that I left work early because someone let her know what happened using social media. When I walked in, I didn't even say anything to her. Didn't say hi or anything. I simply put my laptop back down, pulled out the laptop, and told my wife, I need to show you something. She looks at me confused and said, okay. My wife had no idea what was about to happen as I clicked on the presentation button and didn't know it, but a whole new reality for her just began. She looks at me and starts to cry and apologize profusely and tries to hug me. I back away and tell her not to touch me. I asked her, how long have you been cheating on me? To my shock, she said she has been cheating on me for 3 years with a married man. My mouth drops to the floor. I said, what? You're cheating on me with a married man? She bows her head and starts crying. I just shake my head at her and say, you just ended this marriage. There is nothing you can say or do that will make me change my mind. Your cheating got me sent home from work. She interrupts and says, I'm sorry again. I yelled and said, I don't care. I told her right then and there, I want a divorce. She yells, please don't do this. I am sorry. I told her sorry wasn't good enough for her cheating and walked away from her. I grabbed a laptop to get the photos off the SD card and save them to my cloud so I can save them to where she can't delete them. My wife walks over to me with my back turned to her. She comes up behind me and hugs me. I told her to let me go. We are not doing this. I told her, you really need to think about where you are going to live. At that moment, her whole demeanor changed. She went from being extremely apologetic to being angry in a flash. She looks at me and says, I will fight you for everything. At that moment, I knew this was not going to be a quick divorce. I am also thinking how stupid she was for leaving evidence on the SD card to which I have already saved the photos to the cloud to which she has no access. She gives me this look and walks past me and goes into the bedroom and starts packing her things. I am just standing there looking at her, thinking, where is she going? Just when I was trying to figure this out, she comes up to me with a suitcase in hand and tells me that she is going to her mother's place until things cool down. I said, what? Cool down? For who? You or me? She says she will be in touch, but reminded me that she is going to fight me on the divorce. She doesn't work, so I might be in for some alimony. At this point, I didn't say anything else to her. She was in an angry mood and she was leaving, which in my case initially is a good thing. Soon after, she drove off, but before leaving, I grabbed the SD card from my laptop and placed it in a safe place. 3 days go by. I haven't heard anything from my wife. So I call around to a few attorneys to find out what I have to do and the procedures in filing for divorce. So far, it's not looking good for me as far as alimony is concerned. Even with the proof of her cheating, I still may not get away scot-free without paying alimony. I am just worried about how much. I am not trying to pay this woman a dime, but the fact that we have been married for 17 years and I am the primary breadwinner, it looks like I may have to pay something, but it's unclear how much. A few more days go by. I get a text from my wife asking, can we meet for dinner? Her treat. I hesitated at first, but then agreed. I wanted to see where she was going with this. We agreed to meet at a very nice restaurant in town. I showed up first and ordered a drink while waiting for her. She shows up and sits down. She immediately starts telling me how sorry she is about what she did. She said that she really loves me and never wanted to cheat on me, but that guy was a lot younger than her and he constantly pursued her. He bought her expensive gifts and showered her with lavish dinners at fancy restaurants. I told her it doesn't matter how much he spent on you. The fact of the matter is he didn't want his wife. She chuckled. I shrugged my shoulders, then added, why does a married woman need all these boyfriends? Why do you have to leave your husband behind so you can go spend time with him? She told me that he always wanted to be intimate with her and she wasn't feeling it. So she would stop things from happening and just spend time with him. She said that eventually, when he got the picture that nothing was going to happen between them, then he stopped pursuing her for intimacy. I frankly just got right into it. I asked her, why did you want to meet me? I haven't changed my mind about divorcing you. She wanted to know if we can talk about the divorce and what she wanted from the divorce. I said, the lawyers are going to handle that. She then says, I don't have money for a lawyer. I then say, what about your parents? She indicated she hasn't told him about me divorcing her yet. She just told them we had a lover's quarrel and she didn't want to be around me. I interrupted her and said, you're going to have to tell them. Tears start rolling down her face. And then she looks up at me and says, is there anything I can do? I hesitated and said, get yourself some counseling. Then she says, what about you? I said, I didn't cheat on you. I don't need counseling. You asked, what can you do? Counseling for starters. Just so you are clear about this, I am not stopping the divorce. She says, okay, what else do you want? I said, one step at a time, get counseling first, and we will go from there. I said one more thing. When your counseling is done, I want you to tell your parents what you did. She says, please don't make me. I said, that's the only way I would even consider taking you back. You get counseling and tell your parents. I said, then and only then I would consider taking you back. I told her, I can't believe I would even consider taking her back. She says, why would you say that? I said, because you threw away 17 years. I really don't even know if I can trust you again. She again apologizes and starts crying. She looks up at me and says, I would do anything you need me to hopefully regain your trust. I look at her and say, you know what you need to do for starters. But I reiterate to her that I am not stopping the divorce. Even if she does everything I ask, it's hard for me to trust her and don't know if I ever will. She then tells me to please give her a chance. She again tells me she is sorry and doesn't want to throw away 17 years. At this point, I am thinking, why did I allow her a second chance? I guess I don't want to totally throw away 17 years. But at the same time, I don't want to look foolish for taking her back. And she cheats on me again. We conclude our dinner meeting, walk out of the restaurant. She turns around and hugs me and tells me that she still loves me deeply and to please be patient with her. I look at her and tell her, it's all up to you now to convince me to not divorce you. And right now it's not looking so good. She says she understands and will do everything I ask. We then go our separate ways. As I am dealing with my emotions and the decision to maybe give her another chance, I will try to come back with an update. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen to this Reddit